Hello DGS, I'm Monica Hassan and welcome to your bi-monthly newscast. In this episode, we'll see a spotlight on an employee who rescues and fosters dogs. We'll also gain some insight into our statewide supplier diversity program and the work they do with small businesses and disabled veteran business enterprises. And can you believe this show is approaching 1 year of bringing you important highlights about the department? More on that from our director. Made with you, bringing employees together. Your newscast starts now.
Hello everyone, I'm Ana Lasso, your director. When I first started with DGS in 2021, we were still formulating a telework atmosphere that would benefit staff, the environment, and the community we serve. I became inspired with a vision for a news program that would energize and inform staff while keeping everyone connected. In January 2022, Hello DGS launched. As we near our 1-year anniversary, I want to thank all of you for your contributions in pitching story ideas and participation in educational spotlights. This show is designed to be a collaborative effort to bring more awareness to our internal programs, and I thank you all for bringing my vision to life and making it a success. For several years at DGS, we've embraced a strategic planning method that keeps us accountable and on track to complete ambitious goals. Each passing year gives us a collection of tangible accomplishments in which all employees can take pride. Our annual year-in review brochure will be here next month. Please be on the lookout. Enjoy the show.
I started DGS in 2004. I was working in public affairs. I was a press spokesman for a couple of years. Then I moved over into legislation, did that for a few years. Spent 3.5 years in the procurement division as an acquisition supervisor. And then 2012, I came back to legislation, and I've been doing it ever since. Before I came to DGS, I was a reporter at the San Bernardino Sun. I did politics and education coverage. Legislation is always interesting to me because of the intellectual challenge, just thinking through what effect a particular change in the law would have, what consequences it would have. And you get to figure a lot out about how the laws work by thinking about how you would change them. Here at DGS, because our business lines are so diverse, we end up dealing with bills affecting a broad range of subjects, everything from the environment to public safety to agriculture, transportation, all these different areas that we touch in our business lines, we also touch in our legislative work. We interact with the legislature in a lot of different ways. Legislative staff will come to us with ideas, with questions, with concerns, and we have to work with them to answer their questions, try to address their concerns. To the extent we can, give at least some hint as to what the effects of a legislative idea might be. One of my other hobbies is keeping tropical fish. I've been doing this for a while. Actually, a coworker got me into it. I have a fish tank with several different species of fish and crustaceans. Little tetras, a weird catfish, some snails, some shrimp. It's a nice, peaceful hobby most of the time, but it's also a challenge. You really have to pay attention to water quality in order to keep your fish healthy. You're keeping a number of fish in an amount of water that's far smaller than what they would have in nature. So you have to be very attentive to keeping the tank clean, changing the water, ensuring all the parameters are correct. Well, a coworker gave me some guppies. They lasted a few weeks, and I realized that I needed to learn a lot more in order to successfully keep fish, so I did a lot of reading. Made sure I understood what would actually be involved, particularly about water quality. Got some other fish of my own, and successfully kept them healthy and going ever since. Well, I don't really feed them individually. The tetras in particular, they're a school, so they'll all come out and eat the same food. The catfish is different because the catfish stays at the bottom of the tank. I do have to feed the catfish separately to make sure it's getting some food. Well, I mean, it's pleasant and peaceful just to watch them swim around and do what comes naturally to them. They're always appreciative when I feed them. And you know, it's just a light challenge that keeps me going.
Sudden cardiac arrest is the nation's leading cause of death, and sadly, 350,000 people will suffer from one this year. So let's take a look at what it is and what you can do to help save a life. Sudden cardiac arrest is the abrupt loss of heart function, breathing, and consciousness. This usually results from a problem with your heart's electrical system, which disrupts the pumping action and stops blood flow to your body. AEDs are devices designed to administer an electric shock to the heart of a sudden cardiac arrest victim. This stops a fatal rhythm called ventricular fibrillation and allows the person's heart to begin beating on its own. AED treatment should be given within the first 3 to 5 minutes of a sudden cardiac arrest, so devices must be strategically placed throughout the office, and staff must be trained on how to use them. By training employees, we may improve the survivability of cardiac arrest by 65%. To learn how to use an AED device, head over to DGS Pathways to register for our course.
I work in the Office of Human Resources in the Exams and Certification Unit. I manage a staff of analysts who develop exams and score minimum qualifications. I have been with DGS for 10 years. Prior to that, I worked in private sector for organizations such as Sutter Health and Franklin Templeton, and overall, I have been in human resources for over 25 years.
So as far as MQing can still be done by hand,
Yes.
for our exams.
When I'm not human resourcing, my passion is animal rescue. And what I do is I work with a local organization who they go to local shelters and pull dogs. And generally these dogs are senior dogs or hospice dogs. And I just happened to stumble upon a hospice dog looking at Facebook about 2 years ago now, and noticed this little pup who needed a home. So I immediately reached out to the organization, and to me, I'm thinking that poor little dog is not going to be euthanized on my watch. So the next day or two, we arranged it, and the little pup came home with me. I named him Charlie Bear. He was a Maltese mix, and he was just the biggest love cuddle bug. And he went from being a sad little looking dog to just an amazing little dog. Initially, I got started volunteering at the SPCA, and I would go in and I went through a whole volunteer program, and after that I would go in and walk dogs, whether it be small dogs, large dogs, and just go and pop in and say hi to all of the dogs. I would also volunteer with any special events that they have to raise funds and awareness of adopting and not shopping. I came across another dog that needed to be loved, and again, that little pup was not going to be euthanized on my watch, and this time it was a little terrier. Poppy is what I named her. Poppy stayed with me, and she is living in the lap of luxury with my other dog that I've had forever. So I have Poppy and Daisy, the 2 flower children, and they are spoiled little girls, and that's how it should be. I'm a huge animal advocate. There are so many animals out there who need to be loved and are just looking for loving homes until they take their last breath. So for me, I do it because I get so much out of it. I like to educate those about adopting, not shopping, and about the joys that they bring to us. It's pleasure, it's that I'm saving animals, that I'm the voice of the voiceless. To me, animals are, if they're a living thing, and they're part of the family. And I truly believe they bring you so much love, and it truly is unconditional love. And if you can be kind to an animal, that means that speaks volumes for an individual. Particularly nowadays, there's a lot of animals who are in need of loving homes. And it's a big commitment. So for me, you need to make sure that you have the time to take care of that animal. You have the finances to take care of that animal. You want to love it. It's going to be part of your family. So if I can help anybody as far as getting a loving pet, but you have to make sure it's the right time. And again, please adopt, don't shop. So that's my thing.
Created in 2021, the statewide Supplier Diversity Program within the Procurement Division is committed to implementing data-driven strategies to support greater diversity, equity, and inclusion in state contracting. California spends $10 to $12 billion each year in contract awards, and the goal is to spend 25% of those dollars with state-certified small businesses and 3% with disabled veteran business enterprises. It is a business imperative to ensure minority, women, and LGBTQ small businesses are included in this spend. In April of this year, in partnership with the Office of Small Business and DVB Services, we launched a new voluntary diversity data collection opportunity for new businesses registering with the state and for current businesses within their profile on CalifProcure. The purpose of the diversity data collection is to allow the state to gain a better understanding of registered and certified business owner demographics related to ethnicity, race, gender identity, and sexual orientation. To date, nearly 4,000 businesses have provided their diversity information. The data collected will help determine any potential disparities in state contract awards and where outreach is needed among various communities to build a more vibrant and sustainable economy for all. Check out the statewide Supplier Diversity Program's website for more information.
Locating and delivering the state capitol Christmas tree to Sacramento is a process that begins much earlier than people may realize. Early summer, we send staff out to look for the perfect Christmas tree. Several factors are taken into consideration, such as height, width, and proper branch spacing. This year's tree is a 65-foot white fir, which we got from the U.S. Forestry Pacific Southwest Research Station out of Placerville. Once we've located a tree, arrangements are made with the Department of Cal Fire and the California Highway Patrol to arrange delivery and setup of the tree back at the state capitol. Once the tree's been delivered and setup has been completed, installation begins on the tree right away. This year's tree is a little special for us because over the last 30 years, we've had the same crane operator assisting with the picking and the delivering of the state capitol tree here in Sacramento. And this year looks like it'll be his last year due to retirement.
Well, for the last 35 years, we've been chosen to put this Christmas tree up. And it really is the high point of our year. The real trick is to take these trees out of the forest and be extremely careful with them and not break any branches. And part of that is to invert the tree from the vertical position to the horizontal position, and then to reverse that once we arrive here on the Capitol grounds. Over the years, I've worked with a bunch of different people here at the Capitol, and they've all been dedicated and hardworking people, striving for one mission, one purpose, and that is to get this tree up and make it look beautiful for all the people to enjoy.
Once the tree's been completed, we'll have approximately 10,000 multicolored LED lights, several hundred traditional ornaments, and several hundred handmade ornaments from children all across the state of California. This is my 22nd Christmas tree with the Department of General Services, and it's an honor that I look forward to being a part of every year, as it's a special time of year to be able to bring Christmas to the rest of the state of California.
Thank you for watching. As we approach our 1-year anniversary of Hello DGS, we want to send a big thank you to all of our staff for pitching amazing story ideas and participating in employee profiles. This show happens because of you, so remember to head over to the Hello DGS SharePoint page to submit a request to be featured on the show or to send fun story ideas. We'll meet here again soon.